Hi there everybody, how are you doing today? So, recently I went and looked in the woods where some Sasquatch are known to live by my house, and I noticed something with the tree that was completely bent. Like, one day it was like this, the next day it was like that. I don't know what could have possibly done that, but if you think it's rot, let me know. Let me know what you think, because to me this was a sign from a Sasquatch. I don't know what he was trying to say, but maybe, I don't know. There's a few people going walking with their dogs in there that live there and stuff like that a lot recently, so maybe they're trying to tell them something like, don't come back here. But it's interesting, at least, to say the least. There's a lot more tree breaks back there. Not really sure what they mean, but they're kind of all over the place. Bends, breaks. There could be borders. They could be just signs to show, to remind themselves where they are. You know, what spot is where. I'm not sure. Not really sure. But I thought it was interesting to see this tree bent in this odd way. You know, it's strange because it wasn't windy at all the night before. No wind whatsoever. And the tree's like this, perfectly straight one day. I wish I had before and after pictures, but obviously I'm not going to know to take a picture of it before. But interesting how it just went like this. No storm, no wind, no nothing. To the next day, it's like this. Bent. Not falling over because of rot, but looks like it bent. Specifically bent. Strange. Very strange. I don't see how that could happen in nature. I don't see that happening in nature. When you go to at least as far as I'm concerned, spots where there are no Sasquatch and you just observe what the woods look like, they look like normal woods. They don't look like there's bends and breaks and all this weird stuff going on. They just, completely straight trees until they fall over and die, and then they just fall over, and that's it. But there's really hardly anything in between that, unless you're in Sasquatch territory, and then you got signs everywhere. I mean, bends, breaks, all this weird stuff that could never be done by humans or naturally, just incredible things. Structures, I see a lot of structures with like the V and then a line on top, small twig on top like that. So it's strange because it's like all these all these different structures that look like they were made, like the trees just don't fall like that in the woods, but they're all over the place back there. Interesting, and you'll see some logs pushed together up on one tree, like to make a structure. I don't go back there and take a lot of pictures and stuff because I'm really not supposed to be back there. It's all private property, so if I get caught back there, I'll be in trouble big time. So I'm not really gonna do that. But the last place I was in that wasn't private property, where there was tons of tree structures and tree bends and tree breaks, wasn't long before I started getting rocks thrown at me, and that wasn't good. I didn't want to stay there to see what was going to happen, especially when they started becoming boulders, boulder size, freaking 30-pound boulders soaring at me like a cannonball. Yeah, that'll make you leave really quick. So, it's one reason why I don't have pictures. But I imagine if I had went in there for strictly the, focus of just taking pictures, I could have gotten a lot of pictures, but that's not really the point here. I'm sure anybody can go into their, to dense enough forest and find the Sasquatch structures. Sasquatch are all over the place, believe it or not. You wouldn't even think in some places, but absolutely. Like New York State, I never thought they were in New York, but yeah, New York is loaded with them. Loaded. There's lots and lots of woodland for them, just empty space for them to just miles and miles and miles for them to roam and build and play and hunt and fish and just everything you can think of, and it's all out there. It's not, you can go and find this stuff really easily. So, I'm not really going to document everything I see, because then again, you don't know, it's just better to go see for yourself. Like Todd Standing says, like, come out with me and I'll show you a Sasquatch. I like that idea. You don't even have to go out with him. You can go out yourself and just find the signs of them all over the place. And who knows, spend a few hours, a few days out there, maybe you will find one. Maybe you'll hear some hoots or some whoops or something. But, especially if you're in a known area where they're known to be, they're not that hard to find, especially signs of them. They like to show signs. They like to make tree breaks and bends and all weird stuff just to show you they're there. So, yeah. But the reality is people don't find them and stuff, like they don't see any signs because they're not looking. Tracks, you can't miss a track. It's a track of sometimes, 900-pound animal. How do you miss that, in the soft sand or the soft dirt? You can't miss these things. Sometimes they're just so clear. It's weird how people even think they're that elusive. I mean, of course they're going to be elusive. They're not going to just walk out, hey, how you doing? I'm the most advanced hominid that evolved on the planet. They wouldn't be if they just were so lackadaisy about how they just appeared to people or whatever, It wouldn't work. They wouldn't have been wouldn't have gotten to this point. So that's why you just got to respect them and just, understand you're in their home when you're out there. And you can play by their rules, And if you do that, you just respect them, just show, walk lightly, touch the trees, be one with nature, and just show that you love nature, and they'll come out. They'll show themselves to you. It'll just take you some time, it just depends. Or maybe they won't. Maybe they'll throw stuff at you and tell you to get out of there. But hey, at least you realized there's a Sasquatch there, interacting with you. That's cool, isn't it? Nothing else can throw rocks. Bears don't throw rocks. Nothing throws rocks in nature. So when you're, there's a 100-foot ledge and you're 75 feet away and something's bombing rocks at you from up there, it's either a person or it's a Sasquatch. And, if you're out there in the wilderness, there's no people out there, you know that. You can tell there's no people, there's no cars, nobody's going to hide behind a rock and throw rocks at you, it's just ridiculous. But, especially when you realize some of these boulders are so heavy, no human could even throw them, no MLB pitcher could throw that fast and that hard. So that eliminates that option. And, sounds, growls, listen for growls. Sometimes you'll hear really low growls, all these things are important. But, yeah, so that's all for today. And good luck out there. Remember, just love nature. And the master will show himself to you when the student is ready. And that's all I got. So take care.